People love to hate on Notion. They say it's overcomplicated, it's overrated, and basically just a prettier to-do list. But the thing is, most of those complaints come from people who've never actually set it up properly. So by the end of this video, I'll show you exactly why every major criticism of Notion is just wrong, and how with a few small changes, it can become one of the most powerful productivity tools on the planet. If you keep believing the myths, you'll stay stuck using 5 different apps for what Notion can do with 1. So is it just a prettier to-do list? Do you spend more time organizing it than actually completing tasks? Does a note app do the same thing? And is it too complicated to set up? Well, let's find out. So the first complaint being that it's just a simple to-do list, or a prettier to-do list. Well, that happens if you add tasks like this. This here is obviously just a boring to-do list. But look, you can change the font to serif. Isn't that pretty? And you've probably seen those templates where, you have a bunch of pretty pictures and stuff. To agree with the haters, yes, those are just prettier to-do lists. But see, your to-do lists get genuinely useful when you use databases. So I'm going to show you 3 functions that will hopefully change the way that you view to-do lists. So here I'll just write to-do list. So in Notion, rows are pages. So I can open up this, and this here is a page. So if I write task 1 here, I can actually write details and information about task 1 directly in here. So task 1 is its own page. So rows are pages, and then columns here are properties. Now there are a ton of different properties in Notion, and this here is where it becomes incredibly powerful. Yes, we have basic stuff such as checkboxes, so you can check in if a task is complete or not. And you can add a bunch of other powerful properties such as relations, which connect to other databases, select so you can do different drop-downs, number properties with different calculations, and so forth. And with these databases here, you can use filters, sorting, and groups in order to see that information differently. And not only do we have these features here, but we can view this same task list here. So if I add task 2, we can view that in a bunch of other different database types. So we could see this same list here as another table with different filters, sorting, and groups applied, or we could view it as a calendar, we could view it as a timeline, we could view it as a gallery. So let's just do a calendar as an easy example. This to-do list here is the same thing as this to-do list. We're just viewing it in 2 different views. And now as you can see, this date property magically got added. That's because for a calendar to exist, we obviously need a date. So if I add today's date to this, and let's do that for this one as well. If I click here on the calendar, you can see task 1 and task 2 sitting here. So I can view the same information with different types of database views. Now let's have a look at how filters, sorting, and groups work. What I'm going to do is right click here on table and do duplicate. And let's just call this incomplete. This here will be all the tasks that I haven't completed yet. So if I've completed task 1 here, I don't want to see that in this view. And to do that, we can use filters. So I'll add this simple filter here for the incomplete tab where it is unchecked. So I only want to see tasks here that are not checked in. Now that item didn't get deleted from here. I can still find it here on table. So let's rename this here to all. This here will house every single task. And in the incomplete, it's just the task that I haven't completed yet. So that's how filters work. Let's add another task in here. Let's call it task 3 and click here on the 16th for that one. And then task 4 on the 17th. What I can do is use this next database feature called sort. And let's sort this here by the date. So I can do ascending or descending. So if I click descending, I now see 17, 16, 15. Or of course I can swap it back to ascending. So whatever has the soonest date will come up first. So that is how sorting works. Obviously, you can do a bunch of different stuff. In Headquarters, my premium Notion template, I have automatic sorting using importance and urgency. That way your task list gets automatically organized for you so you know what tasks to do first. So there are a bunch of possibilities with sorting. Let's have a look at the last database feature, which is groups. Obviously, there's a bunch of others, but these 3 here are the main ones. So under this all one, let's just group this by if it's been completed or not. So now everything that's been done shows up here, and everything that hasn't been done shows up here. And if I tick this in, automatically it jumps up here. So now this to-do list here is extremely powerful, as you can see. Yes, I agree with the haters. This here is just a pretty to-do list. There's not much point in using that. But once you start using databases, you can build a lot of powerful stuff. And that comes down to using different Notion database views and by using different filters, sorting, and groups. The next criticism is that you spend more time organizing than actually completing tasks. Here's the thing, when I add tasks, I actually want it to take just a bit longer to fill out. Because if you have some questions in here, let's just call it the importance, whether it's important or not important. Now what I'm doing is actually considering whether this task is even worth doing in the first place. Because if this task 4 here is not important, why am I going to waste my time with it? In a normal to-do list, you do everything that's on that list. That's how to-do lists work. Whereas in my opinion, a good to-do list actually helps you to do less. Because instead of just being busy, let's be genuinely productive. If this is not important, why do it? Another question here that I like to ask that has 100% changed my life is to ask, what project is this task related to? So I've just created this projects database here, and let's call it Project A. Very creative. What I can do here is use this property, the relation property, and connect that to this project database. So I'll connect it to project and add that relation. So let's close this toggle here of completed tasks and just look at the uncompleted ones. We have task 4 and task 3 here. Let's say task 3 here is to do with project A, and let's say task 4 here doesn't have a project associated with it. So it's not important and it's not working towards any larger project. Yes, it might take me that extra 10 seconds to fill out some of these questions here, but I will save hours every single week in not wasting time on busy tasks that aren't getting me any sort of result. So yes, you do spend more time organizing your tasks, but it means the tasks you spend time doing actually matter. The next comment is a note-taking app does the same thing. Now, the people who say this are once again referring to tasks like this, I'm presuming. This here is the same thing as a note-taking app, or even if you have some sort of database system like this, with maybe some filters and sorting, the fact that we can see this as a calendar means that we have one less app that we need to use. Because in this calendar view here, I can change this layout here to see just the week, let's say. And I can also say which properties I want to see. So let's say I want to see whether it's complete or not, and I want to see the relevant project. So we've completed these. Let's go to next week where we have task 3 and task 4. So task 4 here, let's just say this is also to do with project A. My task list is now connected to my calendar. I don't need to check my task list and then my calendar and then ensure they work together. These here are the same database, so of course they work together. But by using the power of databases, we can actually build much more complex systems. So I'll show you another example on how we can eliminate another app. So here we've got our task app and our calendar app, but we can also eliminate a project management app. So to do that, I'll create a simple page template. So I'll click here on new template and I'll call this new project. And here what I'll do is /database and click on this table view. And we won't create a new one. Instead, I'll bring in this to-do list database. So I'll click here on to-do list. And as you can see, this database shows up here. And we can add filters like we went through in the first section that is filtering automatically by this new project. So now we've created an automatic project management system. When I click on a project, I simply select this new project template. It will automatically load in any task that is relevant to that project. So all of the project A tasks show up on this page. So now again, we've eliminated another app. And you can do this with almost every single app that you're using. Time tracking, journaling, fitness tracking, and so much more. They can all be brought into this one app, so you have a central hub for everything. Speaking of, we get to the next criticism. It's too complicated to set up. Now, there's two answers to this. Yes, you're kind of right, but also, no, not really. See, the biggest hurdle for Notion is to learn databases. These here is where you get the most amount of value from Notion. But as you can see in this short video, we've already created a task list, a calendar, and a project management system. So it really doesn't have to be that complicated. Now, building my all-in-one Notion template did actually take quite a few months to build. But that's because I tried pretty much every productivity method under the sun to see the ones that actually helped me. So yes, building complete dashboards like that did take a lot of time. And I put a lot of effort into ensuring that everything is connected and optimized for easy organization and genuine productivity. But if your current setup is just a simple to-do list app or sticky notes, even a basic setup like this with a task list, a calendar, and a project management system will do a lot for your productivity. If you're interested in Headquarters, there's a link in the description, or you can click on this video here to see the full tour with all of its different features and how everything is built together. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful.